Test, test. Senior champion Ram goes to that first place senior Ram Lamb, entry 51 substitute, Winning Way Sheep Farm, Moweaqua, Illinois. The reserve senior champion Ram, second in that senior Ram Lamb class, entry 81, Dover Genetics of Piper City, Illinois.
Real nice set of spring lambs here to sort through. I guess the last class was our senior champion in reserve. This is our junior champion in reserve lineup, and a snazzy pair here to lead off with. I think a lot of alike in a lot of ways. Tremendous in their breed character, really elevated up to their front ends, and then they've got some handle and some dimension to them as well. The first one maybe just a little bit bigger in his top shape today, maybe just a little further along in his maturity, but love his head, love his neck set. Put him into motion, he holds himself together. Again, really snazzy one, comes into two that just stands up on his toes like they're supposed to. Again, nice headed and a nice handle to him. I think this is an awfully nice pair for junior champion in reserve. We work into maybe a little greener lamb here in third, and this one you get your hands on him. He does have some dimension working down his top and stays square back in through his hip and pin. Again, maybe not as much of him compared to those first two, but certainly one to look into and take home in terms of a stud ram. Some smaller framed ones here, maybe just behind the curve in being just maturity, and I know it's early, and so that these lambs are okay to be small. Don't discount them. Get in through here and decide which ones work for you in terms of pedigree and type and kind for your program. They brought you a nice set of springs. Congratulations.
Any folks that'd like to come out and handle these sheep, please do so at this time. We invite you to do that. Our next class will be for Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Ram. Exhibitors, we will do the rosettes after the show today. We'll paint rosettes there. That way you and the judge are not handling wet paint during the show. The other thing we want to remind Oxford exhibitors, tomorrow, prior to the sale at 10:30, they'll start lining up the other sale animals on the racks out here in the show ring. We will do the Oxfords. We're the last breed to sell tomorrow, so we will line those up. It'll probably be closer to 11:30 before we bring ours out. We'll bring them out by class and line them up so the people can see them side by side. That's the procedure they follow here at the premier sale, and we just want to be a part of that same procedure. So remember, tomorrow morning we will be lining those sheep up by breed within class on the racks. Placing on the junior ram lamb class for the Oxford show, first place went to entry 60, Apple Oxfords. Second place to entry 68, Weber Livestock Company. Third place to entry 57, Substitute, Winning Ways Sheep Farm. Fourth place to entry 75, Substitute, Green Acres. Fifth place to entry 56, Winning Ways Sheep Farm. Sixth place to entry 79, Isaacson Oxfords. Again, your next class will be for overall grand and reserve. Our junior champion ram went to entry 60, Apple Oxfords of Hancock County, Greenfield, Indiana. And our reserve junior champion to entry number 68, Weber Livestock Company of Wisconsin. Following the selection of our Grand and Reserve Grand Champion Ram, we will go into yearling ewes, split 1. It's our first class of them. Those are the odd numbered lots.
Well, ringside here, let's put our hands together for the Oxford exhibitors here. They bring out a nice set of rams for your national show and sale. The venue's been moved and we're trying some new things, and I think that the breeders come together and got you a really nice set out here to sort through. These 4 in particular, I think, are awfully good. I think it's close for that champion drive. I think both these frontline lambs are just awfully good and different things they bring to the table. We're going to use this fall ram lamb for our champion, and we'll use that junior ram for reserve. Let's give a big round of applause and nice set. Congratulations.
Our Grand Champion Ram goes to entry number 51, substitute out of the Senior Ram Lamb class, the Senior Champion Ram, Winning Way Sheep Farm, Moweaqua, Illinois. The Reserve Champion goes to entry 60, first in the Junior Ram Lamb class, our Junior Champion Ram from Apple Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Again, your next class will be yearling ewes, split 1. These are the odd numbered yearling ewes on the fitted yearling ewes.
As we move on to the females here, this is a judging class that will either make you or break you in a contest. There's four really nice shoes here. They are really different. There's some good pieces in each and every one of them, and some of them a little more future maybe in them. For me, and you get one on top here that maybe just pushing the edge, just maybe like to make that one just a little more woolly if we could in terms of her breed character. But she's the best bodied one today. She's the deepest one in terms of her middle and her rib. She's got a big top shape in her and a big hip in her. This is a female that you can breed to a more woolly ram and just come up with really good sheep. I think she's up on her wheels like they're supposed to be. I think just an awfully nice one there. If you want to give her just a little more wool, I'll go with that. I think that's a high quality female to lead off with. Our next one just going to tape and be a little bit taller at the point of her shoulders, and you appreciate that. I love that one's head and ear. Got a huge hip in her and a nice pin set. Maybe just gives up some dimension today. Maybe just doesn't have quite the maturity that we have in that first one, but a big gal. If you're looking to hold on to one this summer and fall that's got some size and scale, you put that wool back on her. You maybe can just ease that top up just a nickel, but another really sound one with a beautiful head about her. I think that's a nice female. Next one comes to us. Love this one from the side. She designs up extremely good. Love the wool on that female. Just again, great breed character about her. Getting behind her in motion, maybe wants to tuck those hocks together just a nickel, and that's being really picky. I think some of it might be her attitude, but another high quality one there. And then if you want to bank on one for a future and one that in November might be the better of all of them, I think you can say that fourth one is awfully good. She's level in her design. She's good in terms of her hip. She's just pretty green and immature compared to those ones ahead today. But get in here again, decide which ones pedigreed are the best for you. I think that's a nice set. Congratulations.
If you'd like to come out and handle these ewes, please do so at this time. I think Lloyd got the pictures, so please come out and get your hands on them. Take a look. Placing on that class split one are odd-numbered yearling ewes. First place to entry number 77, Isaacson Oxfords of Wisconsin. Second place to 61F, Futurity nominated, Apple Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Third to entry 83 sub, Bingen Oxfords of Wisconsin. And 4 to 53F, Futurity nominated, Winning Way Sheep Farm of Illinois. We're now ready for the even-numbered yearling ewes, split number 2. We have 4 entries in that class, and then we'll have a slick-shared yearling ewe class.
Again, I think four tremendous females here in this yearling ewe drive, and again, a lot of differences floating through them. Again, think they're all high quality and certainly useful. Ones that if you're looking for maybe stud ewes or show ewes, there's some differences in them to sort through. For me, a combination sheep here on top, and she's not going to tape 40 inches at her shoulders, but if we shear her, we're going to like her the best still. And just in terms of rib and body and barrel and mass and thickness and muscle, big hip in that ewe, nice top, and then she's got a gorgeous head about her, really good about her head and her breed character. I think this is an awfully neat one there. If you're looking for one that maybe you put in a flush program, just a changer type sheep, just in terms of hip and dimension, that's an awfully nice one there. The big ewe comes to us in second. Just a great side profile that she paints in terms of her picture. Huge neck and extension about that female, and again, pretty nice about her head. She's got a big hip and big pin set in her. She handles with a lot of mass. She's not quite as far along as that first ewe, but certainly one that if you're going to hang on to a big one in terms of the show ring, I think this one's one to look in here for us. Another little more moderated one here that comes to us in third, and again, some nice pieces there. That one is really true in terms of her top, really good in terms of her head, and she has that little lighter color. If you're looking to maybe lighten them up just a nickel, that's one to look in here for us. I think this is an awfully neat one there. She's not as massive in terms of her top shape as those first two, but certainly a nice female there. Then a bigger ewe here in four, and this one is just simply just behind the curve in terms of maturity. I think you take this one home and feed her. I think she gets better and better every day. She's got a nice head about her, a nice hip about her, one that just needs to massen up today for me, but just a really good set all the way through. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations.
Folks, if you'd like to come out and handle these ewes, please do so. In this second class of yearling ewes, placings first to entry 86 Futurity nominated F, Nichols Sheep Farm of Illinois. Second place to entry 62F, Apple Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Third to 80F, Dover Genetics of Illinois. And fourth to entry 52F, Winning Way Sheep Farm of Moweaqua, Illinois. Our next class will be a single entry in the Slick Shorn yearling ewe class. Then we'll go into senior ewe lambs.
We get a lone entry here in our Slick Shorn yearling ewe, but don't discount that one. Now, you can see from the outside that one's made extremely good in terms of her top line. Got a big hip in her, and again, one that can take home and feed and just make better and better every day as she gets more massive. Nice about her head. That's a nice Slick Shorn ewe. Congratulations.
Like to come out and handle this ewe before Beth leaves, please do so. Placing on the Slick Shorn yearling ewe class, first place to entry 76, Green Acres of New York. We're now ready to move into our fitted senior ewe lambs. Fitted senior ewe lambs, there's 5 entries in this class.
Guys, a real nice set of fall ewe lambs here. And again, this is just, I'm just lining up a sale order. You need to get out here and figure out which ones work best for you, because there's 5 extremely good ones here. And again, a lot of differences in them, a lot of different ways you could sort this and be comfortable with it. For me, just kind of the elevated, neat picture from the side that looks like she's going to continue to grow and be an awfully big female is the one we lead off with. Nice about her head, nice about her top line, just an awfully neat one there. The next one's the biggest hipped one, the biggest pinned one, the one that's got the most mass working down her top of all 5 of them. Maybe just gets a little bit shorter in terms of just that build compared to those ones on either side of her there, but she's so sound in motion. Get your hands on her, just a tremendous amount of width and dimension to her. I think this is an awfully neat one to go into third. One that's just a lot like her in third, and one that maybe not as massive in her top shape, but paints another really good picture from the side. Really good in terms of her breed character. Just a neat one there in terms of a show you. One that I think will easy feed. I think you need to look into that one. And then the big girls, the struggle for me, whether you use her, you put her here, you put her in the middle, that one is no doubt the big one, the stretchy one. She does not want to cooperate, doesn't want to show herself off too nice, but gorgeous head about her. Definitely one, and when you get a little more wool on that one, you can kind of blend in just a little bit nicer as she continues to come out of that growy stage. That one's going to be awfully fun to hold on to in November, I have no doubt. The one we round out the class with, just another real solid sheep. That one's got some mass and muscle, some barrel and rib. She may be one of the deeper bodied ones, and you appreciate that about her. I think all 5 of these very high quality. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations.
Folks, if you want to come out and handle these sheep, please do so at this time. This is the time to come out and get your hands on them. Placing on the fitted senior ewe lamb class, first place goes to entry 55F, futurity nominated, Winning Ways Sheep Farm of Illinois. Second place, also futurity nominated, 87 from Nichols Sheep Farm of Illinois. Third to entry 82, futurity nominated, Dover Genetics of Illinois. Fourth place to entry 63F, futurity nominated, Apple Oxfords of Indiana. And fifth to 84F, futurity nominated, Bingen Oxfords of Wisconsin. Next up will be our Slick Shorn Senior Ewe Lambs. Slick Shorn Senior Ewe Lambs, we have 1 entry in that class.
We get a lone entry here in our Slick Shorn fall ewe lamb class, and one, again, don't discount her because there's no wool on her. I think that one's made extremely good. If you're looking for a snappy little ewe lamb to drag around this summer and fall in that fall class, I think you need to look in here. That one's, again, good-headed and really, really good in terms of her shape. Nice entry. Congratulations.
Placing on the Slick Shorn class of senior ewe lambs, first place to lot 90F, Ellsbury Oxfords of Indiana. Our next class will be for senior champion and reserve senior champion ewe.
ringside here. Let's put our hands together for the exhibitors here that bring you the senior drive here for the National Oxford Show and Sale. I think a really good group, and again, some differences floating through them. The ones that maybe aren't standing here, again, get back and talk to the exhibitors and the consigners, decide which ones work best in your programs, because there's certainly some differences, that there's some different pedigreed ones, I'm sure. I think this a darn good group to sort through. There's two out here that I think we'll just keep together just in terms of being good breed character, have some look to them. One of them got stud ewe written all over. That second class of yearling ewes will be our champion ewe. Then we're going to come back and get that fall ewe lamb for reserve. Nice pair. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations.
Senior champion ewe goes to entry number 86F. 86F out of the Class 2 of yearling ewes, which is a futurity nominated ewe, Nichols Sheep Farm, Jerseyville, Illinois. The reserve champion was the fitted senior ewe lamb class winner, entry 55, also futurity nominated from Winning Way Sheep Farm, Moweaqua, Illinois. Now ready to move into our January Split 1 class of junior ewe lambs. January born, Split 1. These are the odd numbered ewe lambs, January born.
This is our first class of January ewe lambs, the first split of them. I think a really a nice group. So again, some differences floating through them, and again, get out here and decide which ones are going to work for you for show ewes and the females that are going to work in your program here. On top, we got two that are just a little more mature, maybe just a little more of them. Just a real pretty pattern one here to start off with. Nice about her head. She comes out of the point of her shoulders. Really good. She's free of that breastplate in terms of her shoulder and chest there. I think this is an awfully neat one there. Youthful, looks like she's going to continue to grow. I think this is a nice one there to lead off with. The next one is very interesting. I think that one has got just a tick more ruggedness about her in terms of her bone, and I certainly appreciate that about her. Really a nice head about her, some dimension working down her top, maybe in motion in terms of maybe just being one of them growth stages, maybe doesn't hold herself together quite as nice, but that is an awfully nice one there. I think you can take a hold of that one and show her this summer and fall and be very competitive. Little baby ewe lamb kind of drops into that later part of January, I'm pretty sure. Really a neat one in terms of her top, though. Just as straight as a string, really youthful. It looks like that one's going to continue to grow, and as we see them come out of that program, we know that they get big, and so I wouldn't worry about that one bit at all. I think that's an awfully neat female to go into third hole. The next one, nice design, gorgeous head about that one in terms of breed character, just an awfully neat piece, and then work into a couple just a little bit smaller, a little bit maybe behind the curve in terms of maturity, but nothing wrong with any of them. Again, all these females are good about their head and their breed character. Get out here and poke through them. That's a nice set. Congratulations.
Invite you to come on out and handle these sheep if you'd like. Get your hands on them, figure out what you like about them. Placing on the January split one, these are the odd lot numbered ewes. First place goes to entry 71F, futurity nominated Brockman Oxfords of Garden Prairie, Illinois. Second place to 91F, futurity nominated Ellsbury Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Third place to 59F, Winning Way Sheep Farm, Mowequa, Illinois. 4 to 65F, Apple Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Fifth place to 73F, Brockman Oxfords of Illinois, and sixth place to entry 69 sub, Weber Livestock of Wisconsin. Again, Oxford exhibitors, we want to remind you that tomorrow we will be lining up the sheep ahead of the sale on the racks. They will be lined up according to sale order, so the Oxfords are last. We'll start that at 10 o'clock. Oxford should probably be on the rack by about 11:30. That way the folks that come and see them can compare them side by side. Those of you planning to sleep in a little bit, you need to be here no later than about 11 o'clock tomorrow so you can participate in that. We anticipate having the Oxfords on the rack by 11:30. Our next class is the even-numbered January ewe lambs. Even-numbered January ewe lambs will be your next class.
Second set of January lambs here. Again, I think just a very high quality group. Again, some differences floating, and then you can decide again which ones work for you. For me, the biggest top shape one here we lead off with, and study this one's just feet and legs, and then when she puts her feet on the ground in terms of her hawk, I think she's one of the better correct ones in terms of what she does there in motion. One that you get your hands on her, just massive in terms of her rack and top shape. There's not hardly any wool on her at all. I think just an awfully neat female with a little extra ruggedness about her bone. I think a neat ewe lamb. The next one really fresh and youthful, maybe not wanting to show off quite as nice as they would want her to, but gorgeous head about her in terms of her breed character. You get your hands on her, she's very, very straight. She's got some dimension and some rib working down her in terms of her center body. I think just another neat one there to go into that second hole. A little taller one here in third, and I like a lot of pieces about that one. Again, maybe not quite as massive in terms of her top shape today, but got some angle about her, some look about her. I think just another really good headed one that's going to feed and make an awfully good show you. The next one for me, I struggle with. I love this little ewe lamb. For me, maybe not quite as enough of her today to get ahead of this line, but I'd like to put her up here because I think she's going to be there one of these days. She's just got a look and a design about her, gorgeous about her head. I think that one is super green. She's super immature, but when you get a hold of that one and feed her, she gets better and better, and she will be up here in the top of the line when we get into some of these shows later on. A little more moderated one here that comes to us in 5. Big top shape in that one with a nice head about her. Good set all the way through. Congratulations.
Folks, if you'd like to come out and handle these ewes, please do so at this time. This is an opportunity to get your hands on them. Placing on split 2, these are the even-numbered January ewe lambs. First place goes to entry 92F, Ellsbury Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Second place to 72F, Brockman Oxfords of Garden Prairie, Illinois. Third to 58F, Winning Way Sheep Farm, Moweaqua, Illinois. 4 to 64F, Apple Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. And 5 to entry 74F, Green Acres of New York. Next class is February ewe lambs. We have 3 entries in that class.
round out the individual classes here with our February ewe lambs. Just an awfully neat trio again, and again, I think all three of them very useful and sound, and look like Oxfords about their head in terms of breed character. Just a little more of this female to lead off with. It's got a nice design about her, nice handle in terms of her top shape. Really a neat one here to go into second. That one is a baby ewe lamb, and then wipe the milk off of that one and take her home and feed her. That one has got a nice design, really good about her front end, really good about her neck and shoulders, and I think just going to continue to grow. Just a neat look from the side. Then one that's going to tip the scale, maybe being a little heavier here, and I appreciate the rib and dimension in this one. Maybe you're going to change her just a nickel right in behind her in terms of her hip compared to these two, but another really nice lamb here. I think all three of them just excellent show ewes, excellent brood ewes. Nice group. Congratulations.
Folks, if you'd like to come out and handle these February ewe lambs, please do so at this time. Placing results on this February ewe lamb class, first place goes to 66F Substitute, Apple Oxfords of Indiana. Second place to entry 70 Weber Livestock Company of Wisconsin. And third to 78F Isaacson Oxfords, also of Wisconsin. Our next class will be selection of our junior champion and reserve junior champion ewe.
Ringside as we get back out here for our junior champion selection. Let's give these exhibitors and consigners a big round of applause. They get all six of them back out here for us. I think a really nice group to sort through if you're looking for some show sheep and some sheep to take home and breed and make some changes. There's a nice set of females here to go through in this junior division. Not just these six. There's some other ones back there that I think are awfully good as well. We're going to keep this first class of January's together. I think they're a really close pair of some differences here, but I think very high quality. We'll use both of them for champion and reserve. Congratulations.
Junior champion ewe goes to the first place in the odd-numbered January ewe lamb class, 71F Utility nominated from Brockman Oxfords. Second place to second in that same class, lot 91F from Ellsbury Oxfords of Greenfield, Indiana. Now showing for grand and reserve grand champion ewe.
we get them back out here for champion reserve. Again, I think deserving of a round of applause as they bring them here to your new menu for the national sale and show. I think just again, set of show ewes out here, a set of stud ewes. I think we've got a female here just in terms of her feet and legs and soundness, her breed character. That this senior champion ewe is going to be our champion today. I think just a really, really good one there. And then maybe closes up just a nickel for reserve. We're going to come back and get this fall ewe lamb out of that senior ewe division for our reserve. I think just a good pair in terms of their heads, in terms of their breed character. Nice set, taking nothing away from the junior ewe lambs. They're going to be fun to show and hold on to as well. Congratulations.